every saint had his past, and every sinner has a future. So remember that. Every saint had a past, and every sinner has a future. My testimony, I don't want to say much, but I can say that God is with me all the time. I went to do my theology in Ireland. I did not choose to go to Ireland, but somehow my superiors told me, you must go. And it was cold and raining. Then at the end of my seminary training, it was time for me to be ordained as a priest. Then I wanted to come back to India because all my family, friends are here in India. But my superiors told me, no, you have to complete your studies, then you can come back or get ordained in Ireland. Then I was very sad. Then I heard the good news. Pope John Paul II, now a saint, he was ordaining a group of seminarians to priesthood. So I applied and I got it. I was very privileged and fortunate to have been ordained by a saint, Saint Pope John Paul II in Rome. And my parents and my brother and sister came from India to Rome to witness this ordination by Pope John Paul II. Confess as much as possible what we call the most serious sins first. We call the mortal sin. What are the addictions which keep me, to make me a bad person? So those addictions, you need some spiritual advice. So the priest will help you. Confession is a spiritual journey in which the priest will tell you, okay, for your life, maybe you should do another way. He gives some advice to you. Okay? So focus on the most important areas in your life. You don't have to say everything. Some people like laundry list, maybe some 20, 30 sins. No. The most important, where you want to grow spiritually. Okay? Then, do you know the act of contrition, by the way? Do you know? All of you know. So if you want, you can say it there with the priest. Then the priest will give the absolution. In the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, He will absolve you. The meaning of absolution, who knows the meaning of the word absolve means what? The word absolve means set free. You're freed from the burden that's been bothering you. You experience the true freedom of God's children. Freedom of the children of God. So that is confession. And remember, it is not therapy. Okay? It's a sacrament where we experience God's mercy. So for counseling, some special issues, you may have to go for counseling. But in the sacrament, you receive God's mercy. And for most people, that's enough. You can go ahead in life with good confession. You're on the right path, and God will give you the grace. Then it's not magic. What is magic? If you do something correctly, automatically, then it will happen. That's magic. But you have to make your own effort. It's a journey of life. You have to make your effort, make your action plan, your promise, your resolutions. So the priest will ask you, of all the things you mentioned to me, what is the most important right now in your life? So you should choose that one area where you want God's grace. Then the priest will tell you, okay, you could do this. We always have to give a penance after the confession. The penance can be a prayer. Say 3 times the Our Father. But more important than the prayer, what concrete action will you do? If I am uncharitable, if I lose my temper, what would be your resolution? Your promise to God? I will try to be more patient. So, forgive that person. If you say, I'm keeping a lot of bad feeling, no, maybe God will give you the grace to talk to that person and forget everything. A new beginning. So your resolution should be connected with what you are experiencing. You have any questions about confession? Is it clear? I pray that you'll experience the joy of confession, where God truly forgives you and you get a new life. I'm so touched by your testimony that after coming for the retreat and making good confession, many of you say, I got a new life. That's what God will give to you today and tomorrow. We will have perhaps 3-4 prayers, hopefully. So you have more options. Any questions? No. Okay. Now tell me, what feast do we celebrate today? All Saints. Why do we have one day, November 1st, every year, to celebrate All Saints? We have every day there's a feast day, like, October 1st, Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus. October 2nd, the Guardian Angel. October 4th, Feast of St. Francis of Assisi. So every day there's a saint. So why do we need one day like November 1st? Because every day there's a saint. Anyone? We can only have 365 days, right? Now, there are so many saints. So many saints. So not enough. 365 days not enough to celebrate. Then, not everyone has the money and the influence to have someone made a saint. To go through the process of canonization. You have to go through Rome, you have to get so many miracles, all that. It's going to take many, many years. So, I know in my life, many people who are holy and who are saints. Like my mother, she is a saint. But not on the altar. But I know in my heart, she was very spiritual. She's in heaven. So today we honor all saints. Those are canonized and not canonized. So remember that. Who is going to do the first reading today for the Mass? Who is going to do the first reading? Anybody? Okay, you're going to do the first reading. It's a wonderful reading. And you should really inspire them. You know the song, When the Saints Go Marching In? Do you know that song? That is the emotion I get when I listen to that reading. When the saints go marching in, I want to be in that company. Heaven is too good to miss. So in the first reading, you'll see 144,000 people, 2 visions of St. John of heaven. And they are with palm branches. What's the meaning of a palm branch? Victory. Victory of good over evil. So the palm branches. Then some are with red sash. Red is for martyrs. Those who gave their blood for Christ. So they're martyrs, many saints, so many of them. And in the same reading, it says, I saw a vision of great multitude of saints. I could not count. So there's so many saints in heaven. So you want to be in that company. What's the greatest sadness in life? Tell me. What's the greatest sadness in life? To miss heaven. To miss heaven is the greatest sadness in life. So today we think of heaven and all the saints in heaven. Now tell me one important thing. How to be a saint? Tell me. Is it easy to be a saint? See, everyone says it's hard. Why do you say it's hard?
You have to be very faithful.
Be very, very faithful. Okay. And it's hard to be faithful. Okay. Is it easy to be a saint? If you read the autobiography of Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus, you will know it's going to be easy to be a saint. All that she did, she picked a pin from the floor with love. She watched the kitchen utensils with great love. To do small things with great love is the way to heaven. Can we do all that? It's easy. Do small things with great love in your heart. Then you can become a saint. So it's not difficult to be a saint. To love everyone with a big heart. Everyone. So that's, we have to keep in mind, everyone has to go to heaven. Don't say it's going to be hard for me. It's going to be easy. Then, what are the different types of saints we have in the Catholic Church? You can have different temperaments. Some people are very active. Martha, busy in the kitchen. It's okay. A busy person can become a saint. Some people are always praying, meditating. They go to the convent, the monastery. So they pray in the monastery, not active. If your cup of tea is to be prayerful, quiet, that's one way to go to heaven. I can think of different categories of saints. First, the people who had terrible past, but God gave them grace to become saint. Can you give me some examples of people who were great sinners but became saints? Do you know any names of saints? Tell me. Saint Francis of Assisi. Tell me about him. Do you say about Francis of Assisi? Okay.
Like he was a lover of nature. Like he was very rich in the beginning. He had a lot of wealth, and then like he got a call, God's call, that he need to serve the poor. He left everything and.
Great. So he was very rich, super rich, and he had many friends, big parties, everything he did. But Jesus told him one day, the crucifix, he was praying to the crucifix. It's important to pray before the crucifix. As he was praying, Jesus put his arms around him like this and said, you must change the church. I need your talent, your gift to make the church better. So he had a conversion. He threw away his shoes and his fine clothes. He put a beggar's garment and he trusted in God. And the Franciscans, they are following Jesus the simple way, the poor Jesus. So he was, okay, then St. Augustine, I told you, was a very bad person, but God gave him the grace. Now, some of you can be great missionaries. Can you give me great missionaries who became saints? Okay. Okay, Mother Teresa came from Albania and came to India. And in the beginning, she was with the rich girls in Darjeeling. I've seen that convent. It's for the rich girls in the boarding school. But God spoke to her, go help the poor in Calcutta. And she gave up all this rich boarding school meant for the British people and the Anglo-Indians who were rich. Then Mother Teresa became a great missionary in India. Francis Xavier, you know, he came from Europe. He was studying in Paris, very exclusive university. And the words that struck him, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? That sentence struck him. But he had good friends. Very important to have good friends. Tell me who your friends are, and I tell you who you are. If you have good friends in college, in high school, you'll become a saint. So Francis Xavier was with the Ignatius of Loyola, some 6 good people. They inspired each other. And the one sentence that's Ignatius of Loyola used to always challenge Francis Xavier. You're so carefree. You got the best dress, best shoes, best watch. What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his own soul? That sentence from the gospel changed Francis' life. He came all the way to Goa, to the coast in Kerala, Sri Lanka. So he became a great missionary. Okay? And Father Damien. Father Damien, how many of you know about Father Damien? Father Saint Damien. He was lately, few years ago, made a saint. Anybody knows about Father Damien? Yes, tell me.
He was the
Yes. I was very fortunate to visit the place where Saint Damien is buried in Hawaii. Now, Hawaii got many islands. Today is very touristic, okay? I was very fortunate because I had some friends in Hawaii. So when I went to Hawaii, I wanted to visit the tomb of Father Damien. And in that island, it's a small island. See what happened? Those days, leprosy could not be cured. So if you're a leper, you're thrown into an island. It's called Molokai. That's the name of the island. A tiny island. And nobody can visit you. Your family could not visit you. No friends. You're abandoned in that island. And many of them were Christians and Catholics. So the Bishop of Hawaii asked the priest gathering, can anyone go for 6 months to take care of these lepers? Nobody wanted to go. There were about 200 priests in that gathering. Bishop asked, I need at least 1 or 2 priests. Finally, Father Damien, he volunteered. He is from Europe. Hawaii is far away. No? He volunteered. He never went back. He himself got leprosy. No? He himself got leprosy. He poured hot water. He could not get the heat, the feeling of heat. He knew he had leprosy. And he is buried in a simple tomb. And when I sat in that chapel and when I prayed at the tomb, I always literally crying. Imagine, a great missionary, he gave his love for the lepers, whom no one wanted. So you can be a missionary saint. You can be a saint in your own place, in the college where you are, in your home. So easy to be a saint. Let me tell you a joke. This joke is about the auto rickshaw driver in Bangalore and a parish priest in Bangalore. Both go to heaven. And at the gates of heaven, guess what happened? The auto rickshaw driver who broke every rule got a big mansion. But the parish priest got a small hut. So the parish priest complained to St. Peter, I've been preaching God's news every day in Mass. You give me a small hut. This driver who broke every rule, give me a big house. And St. Peter said, here we go by result. See, when you were preaching, all the people were sleeping. But when this man was driving, all the people were praying because of reckless driving, right? Okay. So, we have planned an activity for you. So let me explain that to you so it will be easy when that time comes. You know, Jesus asked his apostles, who do you say that I am? You remember that passage? Who do you say that I am? And they rattled off. Some say you're Elijah, you're one of the prophets. But Jesus asked, who do you say that I am? And Peter came with a beautiful answer. You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Now, dear friends, you have taken a wonderful message, was conformed to the image of Christ, right? Well, what's the exact? You must be conformed. The biblical passage you have taken is
be conformed to the image of Christ. That's our theme for Crossroads.
the theme of this crossroad is to be conformed to the image of Christ. Now, in the Bible, we have different images of Christ. And I'm sure you will have an image of Christ that's very dear to you. I want you to choose an image of Christ that is very dear to you as a group. Now, I'll give you some examples of those images which are biblically rich. Then you have to choose a symbol for that image and also song for that image. For example, one of the rich images of the Bible about Christ is, I am the good shepherd. Now, what is the symbol of a shepherd? You must go and find out. You can discuss what is one symbol that will express the shepherd, the good shepherd. Okay? For example, why does the bishop use the staff? You know, when bishop comes, he got the staff, a stick with a round thing. Have you seen that? The bishop coming like that? Why does he do that? Bishop is the shepherd. In those days, the shepherd had that. No? He protects the flock. Okay? The shepherd is one who protects you. You have something written there. Jesus is our protector. There in the dining room. Okay? But the symbol is, God is my protector. So, shepherd means Jesus is my protector from every danger. Just like in those days, the sheep were in great danger. Wolves came to eat them. So, you can choose that as an image. You know the song, The Lord is my shepherd. That could be the song. So, choose a symbol, choose a song. Then, why did you choose that image? In what way does it help you in your life? No? Very important to know, how does that help you and your friends and your family to have that image? Okay, so one is, the Lord is my shepherd. Another could be Jesus as a servant leader. There are many passages. For example, Jesus says, I came not to be served, but to serve. And Jesus washed the feet of his apostles at the Last Supper. It was not only on the last day he did that. Every day he was ministering to people. Service, sacrifice. So the image could be the basin and the towel, okay? Or whatever you want. Choose a symbol and a song. Make me a servant. You know that song? Who knows that song? Make me a servant. You know that song? Sing. Make me a servant.
No, 1 minute. Make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, let me lift up those who are weak, and may the heart always be. Make me a servant, make me a servant.
Today. So simple song, but that song speaks to you. Okay, very good, good. Very good, a high five. Okay. But important, it gives you inspiration to be a servant in your family, with your friends. Because everyone wants to be the big guy, okay? VIP. But Jesus' understanding is different. He came not on horseback. On Palm Sunday, how did he come? On a donkey. Donkey is simple animal. But if he came on a horseback, you're the victor. So Jesus purposely chose the donkey. So that could be a symbol, okay? So choose a symbol, a song, and how is it going to help you in your life? You want to be meek and humble. Very good. Then, any other image of Christ? Yes.
Bread of life.
Okay. You want to explain?
You.
Okay. I am the bread of life. St. John's Gospel. So important. You can talk about the Eucharist. Okay. You remember the Samaritan woman did so many things, but still not happy. No meaning in life. Jesus gave us the bread of life, everlasting life. All the other foods that we eat, they don't give us nourishment for life. So that could be a wonderful symbol. Jesus is the bread of life. Then Jesus as my friend. No longer I call you slaves, I call you friends. That could be a beautiful theme. On friendship, the heart. Or Jesus, the Sacred Heart of Jesus. The heart of Jesus is a powerful symbol. You already have the symbol and so many songs on love. The Pope came with an encyclical just 4 days ago. Do you know encyclical is the most important letter of a Pope? He came with a new letter just a few days ago. Anyone knows the name of that encyclical? Okay. In Latin, he always gives the title in Latin, Dilexit Nos, which means he loved us to the end. So the heart of Jesus could be a powerful image for you. Because I must love God, the heart that loves God and loves everyone. So that could be a wonderful symbol. So you divide it into groups, choose one image, go to nature, choose a symbol, choose a song, how does it apply to your life, etc.